Haftarah is from the Parashat of Kitisa. In it, we have the worshipping of the golden calf. So the great men of the Anshe Knesset Hagdolah, they decided to have this Haftarah from the book of Melachim. And here too, we have people worshipping idols, Asherah and Baal. And let's do the setup. The book of Kings is taking place after King David's son Solomon builds the Bet HaMikdash. It says in those days that there were 600,000 people that could predict the future with absolute certainty. They were known as prophets. They were known as people that went to the school of Bnei Nevi'im, and there they learned how to meditate and prophecy, and they would be connected to God. So, what happened to these people? Well, Achav and Izebel, these were a king and a queen, the evil Jezebel and her husband Ahab. They lived up north, and after the reign of King Solomon was over, the north seceded from the south and went on for many, many years to have disastrous lives spiritually, that there was only 7,000 people who did not worship idols in the time of Elijah, which is about 150 years after King Solomon. So much so that this Haftarah will explain how one man tried to save the future of the Jewish people. Who was this man Eliyahu? We sing at Havdalah, Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu HaGiladi. He was from the city and the state of Tishbi, and he was from Gilad, or Gad, where Reuben, Gad, and Chatzi Menashe was, so up north. He had a student called Elisha. He never got married. He performed 9 miracles, 8 miracles, and 1 Techiyat HaMeitim. Yes, 1 resurrection of the dead. The Jewish people believe in the resurrection of the dead. Also, every Motzei Shabbat, every time Shabbat finishes, we make Havdalah, that Eliyahu Hanavi, we sing the song. Every Passover Seder, everybody listening knows this, that we have the 5th cup of wine for the kos of Eliyahu, the cup of Elijah. And at every circumcision, at every Brit Milah, you have Elijah coming and visit and opening his ears and say, God's children, pray, pray. I'm here to listen and do miracles for you. So the story opens up, actually, we should start with a few psukim before this Haftarah beginning. This evil king Achav, he says to Elijah, there is not a pagan idol that I did not worship. Now, how is this possible that it says in the Torah, it says in the 5 books of Moses, that if you worship idols, that I will take away your water, I will create famine. And the king is saying to Elijah the prophet, where is your God? This God doesn't exist. I eat, I drink. And Elijah, he had a short fuse when it came to people putting down God. And what does he do? He raises his hands up into the sky and he says, my God shuts off your God. And there was no rain for 3 years. Boy, did King Achav want to kill Eliyahu. So much so, he had to go hiding. And the only way Elijah got to eat was a raven, a bird would come and bring him food. Well, these 3 years are over, and Elijah has a vision. God comes to him and says, go to King Achav. It's time to go back. And he goes. And who does he meet along the way? But he meets the servant of King Achav. He meets Ovadia, or Abdallah in Arabic. Oved Yah, the servant of God, who was originally an Edomite, who converted to Judaism and rose up in the royal administration of King Achav and the evil Jezebel. Mind you a little bit about this man. This is the Haftarah that we read about from Elisha and the woman who had the little pachshemen, the little drop of oil that she said the king's son is coming to take my children away because I can't pay back the money that my husband borrowed, and now that I'm a widow, I have no income. That man that died was Ovadia. And who was this man, Ovadia? He took all his money and he put the last 100 prophets in the land of Israel, and he put one set of 50 in one cave, one set of another 50 in another cave. And what did he do? He paid all his money to keep the oil burning, to make sure that these people learn Torah, so that the queen Jezebel could not stamp out all of Judaism. Or is it stomp out? Regardless, you have this great man, and Elijah bumps into him, and Elijah says to Ovadia, "Go get your master." Says, "Why are you asking me to go get him? What did I do wrong? You're famous for phantom disappearances, and you want me to go get him? I'm going to bring the king here, you're going to be gone, and he's going to kill me for winding him up. I'm not doing it." Elijah says, "I give you my word. You bring him back here, I'll be here. I'll be waiting." Okay. So he waits. King Achav comes, and King Achav looks at Eliyahu and goes, "Oh, the troublemaker." And Eliyahu looks at him, he goes, "I'm the troublemaker? I'm the one that is protecting the real God. You are the one worshiping other gods. Let's do a little test of truth. And let's see whose God is the real God. And let's settle this thing once and for all. We'll go up to Har Carmel. And on Har Carmel, we'll take 2 bulls. We'll slaughter them. The Baal priests and the Asherah priests, you can slaughter one. And I'm going to do for God of the Jewish people. And I will slaughter mine. And I'll even let you guys go first. And you will pray. And your God will answer to you. And boom, you'll have a lightning bolt comes down, and the bull will be burned like a sacrifice, and everybody will see the true miracle. So they agree, and they're all dancing, these Baal priests and Asherah priests around the altar with this dead bull there, and nothing's happening. Elijah's mocking them. He's telling them, "Turn it up, scream louder." Maybe he's in the bathroom. He's like really zugging them. And he says maybe he's talking to somebody. Maybe he's davening mincha. Your God can't hear you. And he says after lunchtime to them, "You know what? It's enough already. Maybe your God is taking an afternoon nap. So now, let's go to my God." And he goes up and he puts Elisha in charge of pouring water in a trough all around the site, so they don't say, "Oh, you started a fire there and it went running and went on top of the animal." He says, "No. You see, all water, nothing but water." So now Elijah prays, and he's forcing God's hand. He's in front of 450 Baal priests and 400 Asherah priests, and he raises his hands up and he says, "Hashem hu ha'elokim," that the God of the Jewish people is the Lord. And from the heavens, smack, fire comes bolting down onto the altar and psst, burns to a crisp the bull. And everybody's looking around. Oh my God, this is unbelievable. We just saw a miracle. And they all drop to the floor. All the Baal priests, all the Jewish priests, all the Asherah priests. And they all say, "Hashem hu Elokim, Hashem hu Elokim." The Lord of the Jews is the Lord. The Baal priests, they all realized, and the Asherah priests, they all realized that they were worshiping empty gods, nothingness. So now you see the great miracle that Eliyahu Hanavi did. And that is the story of this week's Haftarah. So we learn we have to show faith. We have to believe in God. We have to be close to God. We cannot pay attention to other noise going on around us. And to the degree that we do that, we will have this inner peace, this inner beauty, that God is the source of all peace, all beauty, all loving kindness. And this is the blessing that Eliyahu wants for all.